Welcome to my presentation on what I think is a really interesting subject and something that I find very effective as a way of releasing all the tension, trauma, stress of the day that's built up inside. And it's called Tension and Trauma Releasing Exercises, hereby known as TRE. So, TRE is a natural science backed method to reset the body and the mind. So, what it does is it really activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and the parasympathetic nervous system is the rest and digest part of our nervous system. If you think about it crudely in terms of having two parts of it, we have one which is an aroused state, one which becomes, we have more blood flow, we have more alertness, vigilance, maybe a threat, or we're in a heightened state of alertness. And the opposite of that, the parasympathetic nervous system, imagine you've just had a really big heavy meal late in the evening and you start to feel quite tired and sleepy, lethargic, maybe warm. That is the parasympathetic nervous system being activated, and sometimes we find that we're stuck in that what's known as the sympathetic or the activated nervous system. We find it difficult to relax, let go and de-stress, and that is the parasympathetic nervous system, and TRE can be helpful in that. So it's used by numbers of different people. It can be used by anyone really, but athletes use it to enhance performance and to aid recovery as well. Emergency services who may be dealing with very stressful situations, maybe seeing things, maybe have to be in that sympathetic, that activated nervous system, might use it to relieve stress. If you think about, for example, a firefighter who may have had a very stressful shift, frequently in the past, once their shift was over, they'd just be expected to maybe go home and get over whatever it is that they'd seen. Maybe they'd go to the pub, have a drink, get themselves a little bit drunk in order to be able to sleep as a way of coping, dealing with whatever it is that they've been through. Nowadays, you could use something like TRE as a way of releasing the tension and energy that is there, that is connected to your whatever you've been doing in the day. You can think of it as like a reset of the body and mind, like a nervous system reset. So why do we need it? Well, we have daily stresses and pressures, and these things build up in the body. It's not like they're just released every day. Once you sleep, you wake up and you're completely back to normal. It might well be overflow of things from the previous day or previous weeks that stay with you, that are either in your mind, your thoughts, or they might be stuck physically in your body as well. Maybe tension in your shoulders, for example, or your neck. And over time, that kind of tension and that kind of fatigue can create poor sleep potentially, and all of that might create emotional reactivity, another word for getting irritated or annoyed, or having a low frustration threshold where you just get annoyed very quickly. And traditional rest isn't necessarily always enough, to just go to sleep and wake up. Maybe if you have a really, really good deep sleep and you wake up in the morning feeling really refreshed, that's fantastic. But a lot of the time we might not necessarily be able to go to sleep on time. We might stay up, might be worried about things, etc. So TRE can be a way of resetting that nervous system and getting you back down to a state of relaxation, centeredness and calmness. Yeah. So what is it? We've talked about talked about a bit about TRE. What is it? Essentially, TRE, you're using these 7 or 8 exercises. They're mainly based around the legs and the hips. And what they do is they fatigue certain muscles to activate the body's natural neurogenic tremor reflex. And what I mean by that, you may have found sometimes if you're sitting somewhere and you're sitting on a chair, for example, and you just go up onto your tiptoes, and you might find there's a tendency for your leg wanting to bounce up and down. That is kind of a natural reflex, tremor reflex. And what TRE does, it fatigues certain muscles in order to activate that particular reflex mechanism. Now, those gentle vibrations can help release deep patterns of stress, muscular tension that's stored within the nervous system. Obviously, it's safe, it's simple, it's effective, and of course, it's drug-free. These tremors that are happening in your body, although they're led by your body, if you actually want to stop them at any point, most of the time you just put your legs straight again and your tremoring actually stops. So I just want to share this one particular quote with you because I think it's very instructive about our mind-body connection. Who is your life partner? By Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. So this is what he says: Mum, dad, wife, son, husband, daughter, friends. Not at all. Your real life partner is your body. Once your body stops responding, no one is with you. You and your body stay together from birth till death. What you do to your body is your responsibility, and that will come back to you. The more you care for your body, the more your body will care for you. What you eat, what you do for being fit, how you deal with stress, how much rest you give it, will decide how your body is going to respond. Remember, your body is the only permanent address where you live. I love that line. Your body is your asset or liability, which no one else can share. Your body is your responsibility because you are the real life partner. Be fit, take care of yourself. Money comes and goes. Relatives and friends are not permanent. Remember, no one can help your body other than you. And I find that really instructive because what it's talking about is developing that mind and body connection where your mind is connected to your body in a way that enables you to be whole, happy, healthy, whole, centered, grounded, and happy within your actual body. So, what can TRE do? It can calm the nervous system in a way that I've not found any other modality to be able to do. It can bring the body and mind back to equilibrium, and it can enable deep rest after the tremors. For me, that is something that is so important. I notice that people generally seem to have a lot of people can have a difficulty in really being able to deeply relax, be so deeply relaxed, lying on the floor that they're not even aware of themselves. They're almost drifting off to sleep. That's how deeply relaxed that they are. And I find that after TRE, what we call integration, with 10-minute relaxation afterwards, I've seen people become so much more relaxed than they've probably ever felt in a long time. It's important to state that TRE is a natural mechanism. So you might see dogs, for example, at fireworks or with thunder, that they have this tremoring. They're actually physically shaking. If you've seen dogs that are scared of loud noises like that, you might well notice them shaking like that. That's their way of getting rid of that stress that's been built up within their bodies. They're literally shaking it off. In the same way, cats purring serves as a form of communication, and maybe because they want food or they want to stroke or get close to someone. It's also thought that specific frequencies of a purr are thought to promote healing and bone tissue growth. So that sort of vibrating that's happening inside of them is helping knit their bones and their tissue together should they actually need it. So how can TRE help? So it can reduce stress and anxiety. It can improve sleep and also recovery from any kind of stresses that you might actually have physically and mentally. It can enhance emotional regulation. What I mean by that is it enables you to get a grip of your emotions more quickly instead of getting triggered by something, for example. So in the moment when you're doing TRE, things can be released that you can become aware of and that also may in the future not cause you to react in the same way as you did before because you've actually kind of physically released that from your body. It can release long held patterns of tension, and it also can reduce stress and anxiety as well. It can be a way of people working on anxiety that they have not just in the moment but also in the future as well. It's a new modality that you can use to help your mind and body rest and relax. It can support resilience and well-being. The more you're able to cope with all your different stresses, the better you're going to be able to bounce back, be resilient, and feel a sense of well-being. And like I mentioned before, it is accessible to everyone. So it's not a drug. It's not a mental thing that you're saying to yourself or anything like that. This is a physical shaking, and that physical shaking, those tremors that can occur within your body, work at the conscious and the subconscious level, and they work to activate the body and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which enables you to go into a much deeper level of rest and relaxation. And that rest and relaxation is actually also a healing state, so it can speed up the healing of the body and the mind as well. So if you're interested in trying TRE, you can try it as an individual session, or you can try it in groups, where people are practicing. You can, if you do try it, you'll definitely feel different afterwards. Hopefully you'll be feeling relief, calm, sense of groundedness after you finish it. That's not the case for everybody, but everyone will feel differently afterwards than before they actually started. And it's suitable for anyone really, athletes, professionals, parents, anyone, which is virtually all of us who have any kind of stress and tension that goes on within ourselves. If you're someone who maybe has been in the army or been in the emergency services, and maybe you have a level of trauma that you've experienced in the past, or maybe where you grew up, maybe some kind of experience of abuse, for example, some kind of traumatic incident that has happened. If this is the first time that you're ever going to do TRE, I would recommend that you really choose a practitioner. And I've given you a website there, treglobal.org, where you can put in your country and it will come up with practitioners who are certified by TRE to be able to choose someone to actually work with you. I would recommend that if you have a level of trauma, or you have a level of trauma that is unresolved, maybe you've been going to a therapist, for example, but it's unresolved, it's really useful to have a practitioner for the first couple of times doing TRE, just so that they can provide that safe space for you and really help in that emotional regulation that I was talking about earlier. They're there simply to hold space for you, create a safe space, and just guide your tremoring to make sure that you are safe and well as you do it. When I was talking about emotional well-being, sometimes people can kind of feel like they're unable to regulate themselves, as we all are. Can be sometimes we get triggered by something, and in that sense, it's always good to have someone who is a trained practitioner to support you in the first time that you actually are doing TRE. And that's the link there, treglobal.org, to find someone who could actually help you do a first session, because the exercises are freely available online on YouTube. You can find the exercises and actually do them. But for the actually tremoring bit, if you think that you would benefit from having someone trained in this, schooled in this modality, support you initially, I would highly recommend that you try that first. I think it's a really effective way of enabling the mind and body to activate deeply restful states. So you do the tremoring, afterwards you do a relaxation, and that relaxation, in my experience, from what I've seen, people that I've worked with, can be really, really profound and really healing for them, to the point where they actually look different after the session than they did before. And what I mean by that is their faces, I've noticed, actually physically look more relaxed, less tense, more smooth. Their skin seems more glowing. They seem in a generally a better place, a more relaxed, grounded, safe, calm space in themselves. And the benefits of what's known as NSDR, non-sleep deep rest, are multiple. I might well do another presentation on the benefits of NSDR, but that is what I found to be really, really useful for people, not just doing the tremoring and doing the shaking, but after that, the body coming back into itself, the body mind kind of reintegrating and enabling that release to be felt through the body and mind, and therefore afterwards feeling whole, very, very different to how you did before. So that's it. I would highly recommend trying it. It really is something that's different and out of the regular things that people might do for whatever trauma they've had. For example, talking therapies, maybe yoga, maybe doing exercise, maybe running, maybe doing the Ironman, whatever those things are. This is something that's actually really different to that, and I would highly recommend it. Okay, thank you.